Hello, I'm Emma Coble, a licensed professional counselor in Denver, Colorado, and today I'm going to be talking with you about some more about depression and some ways to handle depression when you notice it's here. In our last video, we talked about signs and symptoms of depression, and today we're going to talk about how to relate to it, what to do if you recognize you're depressed. Yeah. So first of all, and I reiterated this a little bit in the last video too, compassion is the most important thing. Self-compassion when we have depression, realizing we didn't cause this, we didn't sign on for it, it's not our fault, and that yes, that we need to first and foremost treat ourselves with kindness when we are trying to overcome any illness. Think about how you would be with a sick child or a sick friend. You would never be blaming them or shaming them for feeling illness. It would be like, oh my gosh, they didn't cause this, and you want them to feel better and they're worthy of feeling better. So that's the most important thing. And if you're interested in learning more about self-compassion, I have a lot of more videos and articles about that as well. So first of all, the self-compassion is the most important part of emerging from depression. Next, we need to think about if we are ready to feel better. And I know this might sound weird in a blog or video about trying to overcome depression, but I think it's really important to recognize how depression might be serving us and why it's showing up right now. Oftentimes, depression can actually be a resting place. It can be a place where we feel a little numbness, where we relax into, and we gather our resources before facing something big. It can be a way we avoid feeling certain things, like a really painful trauma or the end of a relationship that it might need to end, or some other kind of loss in our lives. Or we might also really need to grow and creatively develop, and maybe we don't feel ready or we feel really afraid of that, and depression can be a way that we kind of rest and rejuvenate and recuperate. It's like our body sort of shuts down. It's almost like a scab that occurs emotionally for us that is sort of covering over something that might be painful that is there. Oftentimes too, depression can occur when we haven't looked at or mourned various parts of our lives or things that have happened in our lives, or maybe behavior that we don't want to continue. We don't feel ready to face it. So thinking about, like, do I feel ready to feel better? And if the answer when we check in with ourselves is no, I need to be here for a little longer, I think, like, allow that depression to be there. Really acknowledge it and honor it and thank it even for what it's doing for you. And maybe that means for a little while, like, you allow yourself to feel it. You let yourself just lay on that couch, watch TV, do little or nothing, be sad, and slowly continuing to check in and asking the depression what it might be needing, and then slowly starting to reach out, whether that's to friends, whether it's to a therapist. I think a therapist can be really useful at this stage where you don't really quite feel ready to feel better, but you're playing with the idea of, maybe I could start to make some changes and start to pull myself out of this. So in this stage, I think really check in with yourselves. Don't push the feelings away. Let whatever's coming up be there, and see what's happening for you. I love this Rilke quote of, why should you want to exclude from your life all unsettling, all pain, all depression of spirit, when you don't know what work it is these states are performing within you? So think about what the work that is happening within you is. Why is this here? So if the depression does feel ready to relax, if you feel ready to move forward, I first and foremost want to say, I believe that every person has the answers for how to do this inside of them. And you have it all there inside of you. So it might look different what you need and want to do for each person. But some of the things that might be helpful kind of suggestions or jumping off points are, like I said earlier, seeking therapy, the help of a therapist. It can be a really supportive, non-judgmental place. The therapist shouldn't have any investment in you needing to feel better or you needing to be a different way. So it can be just a really nice, comforting space to have permission to feel your feelings and to maybe explore where those feelings are coming from with someone else in a trusted environment. So like in both these stages, when you're not really sure if you're ready to feel better and if you are ready to feel better, a therapist can be a really helpful person and support. The next would be to talk with friends and family who aren't judgmental and who help you feel less alone. So finding those people who really maybe can validate what you're experiencing, practice really reflective listening, and have an open ear. Maybe letting people know in your life that you're just looking for an ear and support and you're not looking for advice can be a nice, helpful way to guide people to help you in the way you're needing right now. Allowing yourself at this stage, if it feels good, and maybe doing this slowly, but engaging with your body and your creativity. So allowing your body to express what's inside of it, whether that's through dancing, yoga, walking, running, or if it's through like pottery, writing, painting, maybe getting Reiki, like doing those things that allow the emotions to move through you. And you know probably what that is for yourself. And maybe you find things that feel interesting to you that, you've always wanted to take a pottery class or something. Allow yourself to do that. Really think about what it is you might enjoy, what feels good to you. A daily thing I like to do is to listen to a good audiobook while I go for a walk and kind of get, this feeling of connection and beauty of art while also experiencing the beauty of being outside and moving my body a little bit and letting things move through me. And the other one, and this kind of ties into that, is going into nature and being in sunshine. So, we have a lot of research that shows that being in nature really helps with, our endorphins, our serotonin, reduce cortisol levels, helps our gut microbiome. Sunshine gives us vitamin D. It's a really wonderful, uplifting experience to go into nature regularly. And we also get exposed to beauty. So the last thing I will say is to do things that help you, and we kind of talked about this a little already, but do things that feed your spiritual side and help you feel connected. So you know probably what that is for you, but for a lot of people I know, and for myself, it can be being in nature. It might be those things that remind you of your larger place in the universe, of the size of the universe, reading some beautiful poetry, reading about our atmosphere and, the galaxy we're in, and all of those things that watching Planet Earth remind you of where we are, what we can control, what we can't control, of the minuteness really of our lives and, everything in this life, and also remind you of the joy of living. So I will leave you with that. And this quote from Rilke, where he says, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. No feeling is final, and this will pass." And thank you for watching.